the next. Um,
Yeah. Da, 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 da. Hello, everyone, and welcome to SOCS episode 44. And we're just gonna riff and talk. We're talking about the industry right now, and we were just kind of talking about artists we think that would have a good Western push. And Skylar, you wanna say what you were talking about?
yep. So, I think female K-pop artists might have a bit of an easier time here. And we were saying like for a variety of reasons, but one of the groups obviously is ITZY, and then another one would be Ace. That Next Level song, I was telling Olivia, that's my shit. I was listening to that this morning, just looping it. That's a really good song. That's probably one of the best K-pop songs ever made.
Novice calling.
Yeah.
Yo,
Dude, but like that production,
that's
do you know
true.
what I mean?
It's a fun song.
Like,
I can't pretend like it's not fun, but like when you read the subtitles of the lyrics, it sounds like the worst part of a Christopher Nolan movie where they're like just explaining shit, you know? They're like,
that's
this
true.
is the world that this takes place in, and this is the villain, and these are the people we're gonna go fight. But when you don't have that and you're just listening to it, it's really fun.
That's a fact, because I did read the subtitles and I was like, okay, turn those off. They're really
I was like, novice
they
is
don't make
calling a
any.
little too much.
What does that mean? Novice calling.
Oh, you know what? Let me. Had like a glossary of like this SM like cinematic universe words. SMC words.
Kwang. They said some other.
Yeah. Here we go. Unfortunately, I have to go on Korea Boo. Rip. And it says, here's your friendly guide to SM culture universe story. It really is the SMCU, folks. That's not even just a joke anymore. We know Kwangya.
Wait. As soon as I looked up Next Level aespa, what pops up is Next Level aespa Fast and Furious. I just want to say, I did feel like it invoked the spirit of Don Leto in me. And I don't know why, but it gave me that energy.
Because it's a song from Fast and the Furious that they repurposed into a K-pop song.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That makes so much. That's why I like it.
Family.
Nostalgia.
Okay, so do you know what I and aespa like what eyes are?
They're fans?
No, that's my's. Which is
What's
so funny.
eyes?
Okay, well, first of all, there's my, there's always like a struggle tweets account for like every fandom. So my struggle tweets, people like all these people who aren't K-pop fans always are commenting on it. They're like, "That's not your tweet, though. Why is it your struggle tweet?" They're like, "That's the name of the fandom."
Worst fandom names? Where do we see that? Worst fandom names?
Is that a thing? You know what? We should look that up. What people think of.
Oh yeah.
But
I was telling Sid.
I don't have a real opinion. I don't think I have an opinion on it. I do think Blinks might be the best fandom name, and Once is.
I like Once is a lot.
Yeah.
That's such a clever name. But I was telling Sid, I get these emails from Quora, which, as we all know, is the new version of Yahoo Answers, and they send me stuff. They send me stuff about K-pop. So I found a question in my inbox. It was like, what are the worst fandom names? And I think someone said from aespa.
Oh, because people always get it confused, huh? Like, you would never know what they're talking about if you weren't a K-pop stan. But, like, even if you're not a K-pop stan and someone says ARMY, you know exactly what the fuck they're talking about, unless they're, like, talking about, like, the U.S. military. You know, like...
Unless you're living under a rock.
Yeah. Okay, so eyes are, like the animated versions of aespa. So... Have you seen the concept video where I think it's Giselle goes, "Professor, what if I gets hacked?"
No.
Oh, they have like a whole like video where they like explain everything. Okay, so yeah, Eyes in Danger. What is the Black Mamba? Black Mamba is the villain. We don't know who Black Mamba is, but Solgi joked that she was Black Mamba, and then Joy like kind of looked at her like she gave something away. So I think it might be Red Velvet, but we're not sure. The flat
That
is
makes
where the eyes live. They're not in Queendom, they're in flats. Cosmos
what?
is the place they're trying to reach after they defeat Black Mamba, who's the villain of Queendom. Novice is an eye that helps them. I don't know. But Novice is calling. That's my novice.
Oh.
That's my novice. You
Oh.
lead, we follow. So she's like the good witch of the West, I'm guessing. Sync is how the eyes connect with their human counterparts.
Okay.
POS is not just piece of shit. It is also the next step for aespa. But the point is, they're gonna probably make like a whole movie of this, I'm guessing, because I think that's what the deal is with the CAA we talked about.
Let me just say, you know what? I'm not like a huge supporter of a music label, especially knowing how they have typically taken advantage of the artists in the music industry, and I'm definitely always pro artist first. But I have to say, it's so innovative and so unique and so smart, and the stuff they have made is so interesting to me. Like, I would love to see them create some sort of film out of the universe they created. That's actually kind of cool. I can rock with that.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people love, especially SM fans, love to like hate on Lee Soo-man and I think it's because he's like the face of the company, even though he's not the CEO, and like generally the decisions that are made that fans kind of don't like aren't really on him. But they kind of like, you know, he's kind of like the face for it, so he kind of takes the shit sometimes. But he's like a genius, actually. I really think so.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of brilliant.
Yeah, I've got to agree. Now, they did steal this concept from KDA, but they're building on top of it.
Well, I mean, EXO also had superpowers, and
that's true. That's true.
yeah, and they had a little story with like Exoplanet, and I forgot what the name of the enemy is, but they've had storylines before. This is just the farthest they're going with it.
Right. Yeah. No, they didn't steal like the idea of concept or universes from anyone. I just meant like the little avatar thing. Yeah, that's it. Just that way.
Yeah, and they're kind of not showing up as much as I thought they would. So
yeah, never there.
Yeah, they're like kind of just in like the teasers and the promotional stuff, which is
level. Yeah, I did see them in that video too. But yeah, I would love to see a push with aespa, a push with ITZY, and honestly, as far as boy groups, I think obviously ATEEZ they're bigger internationally. Anyway, I just want to see them grow and get bigger. There's not really any other boy groups I'm thinking about. I mean, Stray Kids is pretty big too. But we'll just have to see what the next generation of like international K-pop boy stars will be after BTS. No one knows.
Well, I mean, they're pushing TXT really hard in the States too. And
That's
we love
true.
TXT, so
That's a good point.
And like Magic was in English. Very much on purpose, I think. And they did it on Good Morning America and like the Today Show, and so I think they're trying to push them pretty hard.
Yeah, and we were also kind of talking about that push that SM is doing, making more songs in English. And are we talking
you mean
about that?
Big Hit? It was Big Hit?
Yeah,
we can
are we
talk
doing
about it.
that?
We can. You know what?
Even without Sydney?
Yeah, no, maybe we should have Sydney, because I'd like to have a BTS fan's opinion on it. But I do think Hybe, definitely their goal is to do what SM couldn't and take the West. I think SM is always going to be a staple and basically will be the thing that that built K-pop culture. But I think it'll always be a thing for, like, in the West for K-pop fans. I don't think it'll ever be beyond that, unless K-pop as a whole becomes like a real staple in our popular music beyond like the niche, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
We'll have to just wait and see.
Yeah, it's kind of like how everyone and their mother has seen Naruto, but like there's also like but there's like anime that's like Death Note is like obviously a super popular anime, but it's not the anime you would reference to people who don't know anime. You know?
That's
so I
still
feel like
relatively niche.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of like SM in the West. And they definitely have their fan base, but it's dedicated. I don't think they'll have like casual fans outside of, you know, in the US.
Yeah. I don't know if that's I'm trying to look at it in another light, in another perspective. Usually those are the types of groups or people that I like, you know. I think that's probably best for them if they just stick with a dedicated audience and keep making really high quality stuff and stick to like the art. Not shading anyone, but I think that's better than just like making anything that's gonna be globally palatable.
Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, we love everyone in Super M, but constantly we're talking about how we don't really like their music.
Exactly. And we just wish they would make stuff that we can listen to. It doesn't matter if it's in English or if it sounds like all the other stuff that we hear or if it's familiar to us. We just want it to sound good.
Yeah, that's why the one we liked the most was the one they did for the insurance commercial. But I was like, damn, they should have been making music like this the whole damn time.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if we were like a fly on the wall during these strategic meetings that these companies have with like this push into the West, I just want to know what they're thinking because I wonder if they have people from the West on board directing them or giving them advice, or if it's just all from their heads, like what they think will work. Like, and also, are the people older? Are they not our age or like in their 30s at least, you know?
No, it's like old, like if they're like, I think it's, you know, like the record executives in the West meeting with the record executives. And I have to say that, like, obviously American record executives are really out of touch right now. So I don't think they really are being very helpful to the Korean, like.
But are they? Like they are, but are they?
That's true. I mean, obviously what they're doing sells and it works, but it also, there's a tinge of, you can tell that they're trying so hard to figure out Gen Z in a way that K-pop kind of figured out really naturally.
I don't even know. You know what? That may be true. It's because the artists are young. That's the main thing. They didn't have to figure out much. But you know what? There is one label I'm thinking of, and everyone knows it's an American label, and I'm not gonna say it obviously. They try so hard, and they grab anything that's popping off on the internet,
Mhm.
and any artist that's like kind of blowing up, even if it's a meme,
Yeah.
and they like they sign them. I think that's like really disingenuous. So I would have to say that's a label that is more about strategy than it is about art. You can tell when it's a label that's used to music and putting producers and artists first, and they have a history of doing that. The music is always typically good, but when it's a label like that, it's kind of gimmicky, like the music that comes out of it. So I hope they don't do that too. I hope they don't have people like that advising.
Yeah, it's really interesting because when I see stuff that's like when I see a lot of the marketing now in America, it's very much trying so hard to be TikTokable. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
really obvious. Like I even saw an ad today for like Dick's Sporting Goods, and they were doing like TikTok style dancing, but it like looks like this is a dance that a teenage like white girl could do from like wherever, and I don't feel like, and I feel like K-pop has like catchy enough like moves that are recognizable enough that you could do them in a TikTok challenge. Obviously, that's working, but it doesn't feel like so obviously like dumbed down and like shoved down your throat. Like choreography is a really natural and important part of K-pop. So it just makes sense that it's TikTokable. But like Americans trying to like shoehorn TikTok ability into everything feels really fake. Just obvious,
It's really obvious. It's only with artists that, are in the like that top 40 type thing and like pop music. I'm not gonna lie, I don't typically listen to the artists that are trying to make their stuff TikTokable. I listen to some of them because I just like them. But there's very few artists nowadays that even make concept albums. I feel like artists that just in general, a lot of disingenuity, I hope that's a real word, it's just happening.
I think that's why
And
Doja Cat's so refreshing.
exactly, exactly. She makes good albums, she makes hit singles, and it's like it just happens to be TikTokable. It just works. Honestly, she's just a really talented person. I think whoever has her, I don't know what label has her, they're like lucky.
Yeah.
Don't know how.
She's super social media savvy, but it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like, she's got the humor, she's got the, and I don't know, some people just like their social media presence always feels like marketing. It doesn't feel like their social media.
But if we're gonna talk about this, I feel like we have to mention the obvious person when it comes to social media marketing and artistry, and that's Lil Nas X.
Mm-hmm.
Um, whoever, I don't know who has him either. They're probably the luckiest label out of all of them. He does his own marketing. He's extremely social media savvy. All his songs are hits. I mean, they literally don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
I'm sure he has. It's crazy.
he's the like most genuine one to like come from the internet. I feel like everyone, well, not true. A lot of people come from SoundCloud and stuff, but like to come from like a YouTube video, and I feel like so many labels now are chasing off after these like TikTok stars trying to recreate a Little Nas X, and it's just
Yeah, I know.
yeah, and it's like it's not working. I don't know. That's what the K-pop companies have like down to a T with like Weverse and
True.
even their like all the idols have great Instagrams, and
But
they balance the influencer artist thing really well, and I don't think I think in America they're like two separate jobs.
yeah, because you got people that aren't into it at all, and then people that are fully into it. Usually I listen to the people that typically aren't that into it. Um, But you know what? There's still some talented young artists out there. I have to shout out the Kid Leroy. He made a good radio song. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, but
I haven't
Stay's a
listened to
good
it,
song.
so I don't know. I just think he has a really funny name.
The Kid Leroy, yeah. Listen, I actually listened to that song. That's a good song. That's
Okay.
a good radio. Yeah. So it's still there. There's still some talented artists. I think now we think anyone can be like, I don't know. Now it's like anyone can make it. So maybe that it's also just like a big pool of people and trying to be marketable, and that's added to it. And it's easier now. So they're like, let's just market whatever we can. It doesn't matter if it's like that great.
Yeah. We'll
You know?
see if we'll see what, like, throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's not really picky anymore. So I think that's
Yeah.
kind of added on.
And K-pop is pretty notoriously picky.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's why I think there's a little bit of that issue.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. That's like the kind of key difference. It's the training system, which Lee Soo-man
Yeah.
came up with.
Yeah. I think there should be a balance, but I still think there's merit within it, in being picky too.
I agree. And the training system clearly, especially I gotta shout out the big three on this one. All of them. Their training is just like insane.
Oh yeah.
It's like going to music
really
conservatory and dance conservatory.
That's true. It's true. Nowadays, it's like you can't be trained, or even just like if a label gets you and they don't let you make music immediately, everyone's like industry plant. If you don't make a song that blew up before a label taps into you, you are called an industry plant. When in actuality, they're just holding you and kind of molding you or teaching you, how to write, how to make music. It's normal. It's been done before, but there's this really big push for everything to be super genuine, because ever since the bedroom artist got really big, the bedroom producer artist, people are like, you can do it yourself. So
yeah, better blow up right away.
Yeah, so now labels don't really look for you. People kind of blow up and then they tag on
that's
to
a
them.
very big cultural difference. Is the belief in the like natural talent versus the fostering talent.
Yeah, exactly. Which I believe in both.
Yeah, I think there's a balance. I think that a lot of people have a natural gift for things, but you've also gotta work hard to be the best version of that.
But before we move on from this, I mean, there's still the Kid Leroy. He was kind of brought up under Juice WRLD, so his talent was fostered that way. There's still like ways that people are being taught. I think to the American ears and to our eyes, maybe that just looks better. Maybe we're more open to, he was taught or brought up under another artist rather than a label. I think we probably like the sound of that better.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Or school. We don't really like when people go to school for something.
Yeah, that's true.
They're like, oh, they went to school for it.
Plants.
I see people complaining about film school kids all the time, and like fair complaints, but also like y'all are haters because you didn't go.
Yeah, no, honestly, I used to be all about like, no, like always be humble, never think you know everything, like be open. Going to film school doesn't mean shit. I'm still a believer in that. And I don't believe in like being entitled. We're like actually no film school kids I know from the school we went to are like that. Maybe like a few are like that, but not the ones I personally know. But like everyone is like, oh, you went to film school. I'm like, why would you be mad at someone going to school naturally for like something that they want to do? It just makes sense.
I think it's because a certain group of film students have made a bad name for us from a certain school.
From a certain school. One school in particular has really just ruined.
School in particular has ruined the face of film students for everybody.
Now everyone thinks we're like entitled, arrogant little fucks, and I'm like, that's just them.
That's just them. Oh my. But speaking of concept albums, I have to say, I'm mad as hell at Pitchfork. I think that their review of the Queendom album is wrong. Flat out wrong. That album slaps.
I don't even want to go into detail about what I think about Pitchfork just because this is going on the internet. But
are you not a Pitchfork? Are you not a Pitchfork fan? Because I'm not a Pitchfork fan.
I'm not a Pitchfork fan.
People swear by it, drives me crazy.
I'm not a Pitchfork, I'm not a fan of anything that maybe claims that it's subjective and it's not. And it's music. It's subjective. What appeals to my ears may not appeal to yours. And I also don't agree with some music journalism and the way publications have done it in the past. It's just so biased and like misogynistic, racist. Like,
I just this is a thing that I have a really big problem with because people are always like critics suck, and I think it's just that the idea of it being a review, whether or not it's good or bad for you to buy it, is bad criticism. Like what a good critic should do is basically be an art historian in their time and look at what the art is like, what it means in the context of its creation, what's the concept, how is it achieving it, that kind of thing. Just being like, I don't know if it's worth a $20 movie ticket is not real criticism. That's not the art of criticism. So I think Pitchfork kind of does a similar thing. Like,
you know what? There was a movie scene about this. I'm gonna shut up because you already know what movie I'm talking about. I just want to say, okay, as a young Black aspiring filmmaker, I agree with that movie scene. I know it was not written by someone of my culture, but it was a valid point. That's how people feel. There's Black filmmakers that do feel tokenized in that film criticism, film and music criticism, the racism isn't just blatant. It can also be, in the form of tokenism. Mm-hmm. That's just want to mention that since we're on the topic of criticism.
But with Pitchfork's review, I think they wanted. I think a lot of people thought that this Red Velvet album was gonna be like a real, like, big happy comeback, like woo, like every song is a pop hit, and it ended up being like, besides the title track being a really understated album. There's like two fun pop songs, both slap. I think Pose is a better song. I think Queendom, the title track, is the worst song on the album. It's still really good. It's just not the best song on the album. But besides those two songs, it's like kind of like a dreamy soft rock pop kind of thing. It's almost like Red Velvet's take on doing like Fleetwood Mac or ABBA. And it's really good. It's really just nostalgic and whimsy sounding. It's really interesting from them because I still think that the Perfect Red Velvet, that's their Bad Boy album. That's always going to be the iconic one and the one they're known for the most, and it probably is their best album. But this one's interesting because it's a real concept album for them. Beyond just like the look and the sound, it like actually all the songs tell like a story. It's all like it's like a journey through like a love story. The whole rest of the album. Really good.
That's like relatively conceptual. That's pretty cool. Okay. I haven't listened to it, so I can't really speak on it much, but I'm going to listen to it
I
because I
think
do
you'll
like
enjoy.
red.
I think you'll enjoy. And it's
Okay, yeah, I
short.
like.
It's like 6 songs.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I haven't heard it, but I do know how Pitchfork is with the artists that I like, and I've heard their work, and then I see the rating, and I'm like, why is it that every like really great album made by a woman, the cap is at 7? Like if it's really great, they make it a 7 for some reason.
Yes.
For no reason.
100%.
And then like the article is just kind of, you know how journalists, we talked about this before, in the efforts to make a voice and to have a distinct voice, sometimes it can be come off as snide, rude, conceited, condescending. You know, and there's a lot of that too. I think in music and film journalism sometimes. And I don't know how I feel about that, but
Yeah, that's
it's
true. Rolling Stone is the fucking worst about that. They drive me crazy.
I just don't understand it. Like I understand that the journalist is that, you know, it's their inner voice and it's smart or clever, but I'm like, what is it? This isn't coming across the way you want it to, and that isn't that the point.
I think that's the way they want it to come across, honestly, and they think that's smart and clever, and it's just not. That's the issue I have with it.
Yeah, it's off-putting, honestly.
Yeah. Well, do you want to do some reactions now?
Yeah. Damn, we didn't even talk about Sony either. We gotta talk about it next time.
We'll talk about SoMe next time. Because actually, well, I'll edit this part out. But yeah, not that anything bad about SoMe. We just had like an interesting conversation with her about her, and we wanted to bring that up. But I think Sid would add something to that too, so we can bring that up.